It may be difficult to believe after looking at that video that I really don't like to have my picture taken. But I thank Carrie and Jonathan, who wrote that nice script, for making me look good anyway. And to Pastor Federhoff, thank you for delivering the invitation. Bob, your understanding of the importance of community support as the background for a meaningful life has inspired me for years. Before I begin my remarks, I must thank my family and my office staff. When an attorney begins a path of aggressive pro bono service, everyone involved makes a sacrifice. My choice to take on so many people who need help, from disabled veterans, penniless widows, people with mental health problems, residents of institutions, means that we often do more for love than money. From my dear David, our family representative and community volunteer for service for years, I have learned the most valuable lessons. Thank you. And when the workload for the library board averaged over 30 hours a week on top of my practice, I missed major family events, from law school graduation to births of babies. My family accepted that my heart was with them, but my duty lay elsewhere, and I appreciate their understanding. Congratulations to the other award recipients. It's an honor to be recognized in your company. And finally, thank you to the Chamber for this wonderful award. As I reflect on my career, I see that there have been three key themes: the importance of role models, the importance of forward-thinking leaders, and the importance of deliberately and intentionally making room in the tent for new generations of leadership. I will focus first on the importance of role models. When I began my career, for every man who told me there was no place for the women in the law, there were three who gave me opportunities. For every woman who suggested I would be better off at home raising my children, there were two who provided encouragement and support. We just saw a video with many of those people, my mentors, from Julia, to Jim, to Joe, to Coach, to Dr. Lai, to both the stands, on and on. They are the people I have spent my adult life attempting to emulate. People who identify need and think of ways to meet it. Who demonstrate unwavering support of community volunteerism. Who display courage along with philanthropy. Who fight for the underdog and who maintain the constant drive to make things better for the entire community. I thank them all for being role models. And if I have not learned the lessons well, it is not their fault. It is my failure as a student, not theirs as tutors. The second main theme of my career is an appreciation for generous and forward-thinking business and community leadership. When I joined the Chamber Board in 1980, I was given permission to start an economic development committee. As it happened, that small committee was not new. We were retracing old paths. For over 100 years, business leaders in Wooster, Larvas, Stibbs, Quimby's, had been contributing their own money to generate economic growth. It was stubborn persistence by the Larvas that brought the railroad to town, thus creating an efficient way to get goods to market. In 1866, when the Presbyterian Church was looking for a town suitable for a college, a town that would also promise $100,000, including land, toward the project, our leaders recognized the value of having a college in Wooster. Ephraim Quimby donated $10,000 plus a 20-acre site, and $75,000 was subscribed from the other business leaders. 1866 was the first year after the end of a very long and expensive war. That gift would be millions of today's dollars. But this type of leadership didn't end there. By the time this picture of the Wooster Board of Trade was taken in 1908, Ephraim Quimby and the Larvas were gone. But new leaders stepped up. Foss, Friedlander, Frick, Dix. They raised $40,000, or over $1.5 million in today's dollars, to help rebuild college buildings after the disastrous fire. They also raised the funds to lay the foundation for the town as we know it today, including developing housing for working class people and investing in business development by offering incentives such as the $4,500 of private money raised to bring grocery slavers to town. Today, that would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. They bought land for city parks, and they issued bonds to fund additional development. Fast forward another 80 years, when my experience with the Chamber's Economic Development Committee proved that we had not lost that spirit of community involvement. There may not still have been a Foss or Frick, but Wooster as a community, and the Chamber in particular, had made room for the next generation of leaders, names we all know well: a Noble, a Welty, a Galt. Mayor Brenneman, the first, asked me to work on the project to bring the Seaman Corporation to Wooster, and that led me on to Wooster Growth. Wooster Growth works collaboratively with other economic development initiatives to encourage new businesses to come, such as Certified Angus Beef, and to assist others, like our ladder, to grow. And I have enjoyed being part of that team. My personal experience seeing the legacy of Wooster's founding families and the success of generations of business leaders brings me to my third main career theme: the importance of making space and inviting people to be part of new generations of leadership. Although I hear many lamentations about lack of interest and participation in community activities by young people, I don't believe it. Looking at the other award recipients tonight is proof positive that our younger business and professional people have a deep interest in contributing to the future. In this 2008 picture of the Chamber members, you will find no Foss, no Frick, but look at the faces that are there, our faces. We are the ones who are taking our turn, and while we grieve when we lose a Welty, a Noble, a Schmidt, we can only imagine that Walter Foss, who was 27 years old when he died, was equally concerned about his ability to assume the responsibility of leadership. This community allows everyone to participate. Contrast that, if you will, with the places, many places, where there is little opportunity to make a difference. I do not allude to Afghanistan or Syria or some other faraway place, but to political systems all over, even in Ohio. There are places where a few people have held the reins of power so tightly in their hands that none other than their chosen successors can play a meaningful part in the community. They are always either corrupt or corrupted, sometimes by money, and always by power. You can see these places as you drive across America, dying towns where everyone who wants to make a difference has given up and moved on. That Wooster and Wayne County are not dying, and in fact are thriving, is a tribute to those who have gone before us as community leaders. They who made lifelong commitments to improving the quality of life right here, not for themselves, but for the future. It is also a tribute to the people in this room who are willing to commit the time and energy to be the business and community leaders of our generation. Everyone wants to be a part of something. Everyone wants to feel that their presence makes a difference. We inherited a community where careful people planned for a future they would never see. The infrastructure that makes a community solid began long before us. It is now our responsibility to continue that work, to continue to be creative and forward-thinking in our vision of the future, to continue to invest in our shared belief in the wonderful communities that are Wooster and Wayne County, and to actively seek opportunities to encourage and welcome others to develop as leaders. So I close with one of my famous great ideas. The Board of Trade had one marketing tool that today's chamber lacks: its own band. So, just in case, Justin, here you go. Thank you.